I'm in my late 20s, and if there is one thing I wish I could go back and tell my older, early 20 self, it's to realize how beautiful you are. I literally would not even be able to stress this enough. When you have beauty, when you have pretty privilege, it is literally like having a superpower. And when you have beauty that you cannot see yourself, it is like having a superpower that's a secret to you, but is obvious to everyone else. And so everybody will be trying to get you to use this power to their benefit and on their behalf, and sometimes to your detriment. There were so many different things that I got from my beauty that I realized I could get from my beauty, but I didn't realize it was I didn't realize the extent, right? I realized at a young age that, oh, I can get men to like buy things like for me at the store. Like if I just say I don't have the money, someone will offer that to me. In school, I saw that I could get good grades or the benefit of the doubt, kind of like get passes on things other people might be getting in trouble for. But even with all these little things, I never saw the real power or ways that I could use my beauty to really benefit myself. If you were like me, you grew up with pretty privilege, but you did not know the extent of your beauty. Maybe you felt like everybody gets treated like this, or yes, I have a benefits, but it's not that big of a deal. And maybe you even allow people to kind of shame you out of your privilege. I definitely did that. So in this video, I'm just going to talk about some random things that I absolutely would not have allowed had I been totally confident and aware of my beauty in my early 20s. And thank God I've had the realization now. And I just it just grew more and more throughout my 20s. It just got stronger and stronger. But yeah, let's just get into these little things. I think a lot of the Pretty Girl Club is going to be able to relate to me. If I would have known how pretty I was in my early 20s, I would not have let people get to me, get under my skin. I would not have allowed people to shame me for my beauty the way that I allowed it to get to me. I remember people would just talk about the way that I dress. Like one time, one of my friends, right, tried to kind of shame me for wearing earrings to school. They were just some hoops, you guys. But I never wore earrings to school. I always wore this necklace, but I never wore earrings. And one day I decided I wanted to wear these cute hoops. And my friend's like, oh, who are you trying to look cute for? Oh, who do you like? Yeah, okay, whatever. Like, excuse me? And it's like, literally, I just wore these earrings because I thought that they matched my outfit. I felt cute today. It's a pair of earrings. It's $10 cheap-ass hoops. Like, if anyone else was wearing them, nobody would say anything. Nobody would care. Oh, this is going to go into the second thing I would have done differently had I known how pretty I was in my early 20s. I would not have been friends with men at all, okay? Because this was a guy, by the way. This friend, he was a guy that liked me, obviously. But no, he let me know that he liked me. But obviously from that catty comment, you can also see that he obviously had a, little thing for me. But I had so many guy friends because obviously, I had some pretty tough situations with girls when growing up, and then being an adult as well. It was a little bit harder for me to make girlfriends. I did make them, especially when I was like older, like in college and stuff, but I would still come across catty competitive women a lot as well. So I did have a lot of, not even a lot, but I did have some guy friends Yeah, that's something I never would have done in my early 20s if I knew how pretty I was. And I'm not even saying, like, a lot of those friendships that I had, they were very beautiful, wholesome friendships. Of course, every single guy that I was friends with liked me, so eventually it was just too much. But at the same time, we did have very beautiful friendships. So I will never like lie and say like, oh, it was just terrible. Like, don't, like, no, like, you can have happy, fun, fulfilling, and supportive friendships with men. It's just going to have a time limit. And that time limit may be a few months or maybe be a few years. But eventually, those feelings on their part are just going to be too much for them to handle and for you to handle, and you're going to have to wrap it up. So I'm just saying, if you know, you know. And I think had I known how pretty I was in my 20s, that's something I wouldn't have allowed. I wouldn't have been friends with men. Because for what? Like, too much drama, right? Too much drama. Like, who wants to deal with those feelings? You know, it all ends the same way. It always ended the same way. He can't keep his feelings to himself anymore, and it just gets to be too much for the friendship to even be able to be a friendship anymore. So, yeah, lots of people just waiting in the cut, thinking that they're gonna get a shot eventually. Even guys that waited for years. It's like... It makes you question the whole friendship, but that's something else I wouldn't have done if I would have known how pretty I was. So I wouldn't have let people shame me for my beauty. I wouldn't have let myself be friends with men. What's something else I wouldn't have done had I known how pretty I was? I wouldn't have let my mother interfere so much with my beauty and my relationships. So I had a toxic mother, a very jealous mother, and she was always trying to get in the way of like my relationships. If one time I had a family member who had this boy that they wanted me to meet, like her friend's nephew or something like that, and he was like really successful or whatever, like, I mean, for our age anyway. He like went to a really good college and like that kind of a thing. But my mother had all these reasons why I could not go with our family member to meet this boy, like all of these reasons. And she's saying, oh, well, I need you for this, oh, well, I need you for that, but you gotta do this, you gotta do that. And yeah, so I wouldn't have let my mother sabotage my relationships because I didn't realize she was jealous of me. I just thought, you know, like, she's a single mom and we're really poor and I gotta help out and that kind of thing. But it was just, she did not want me to benefit from my pretty privilege in any kind of way. So she always did those kind of things. Yeah. Something else I wouldn't have let people do, I wouldn't have let people be friends with me. Certain girls and women be around me, I wouldn't have allowed that. If you grew up with pretty privilege, you know that girls especially want to be around you, not because they like you, but because they know that certain boys are going to be around you. And I honestly, you know, I experienced a lot of bullying growing up from girls, so I did not I did not have an easy time trusting them. So a lot of the girls, that when girls wanted to be around me just because I got, you know, the attention of boys, like, I always knew that was the reason, but I would still let them. I don't know, it was like it wasn't like I would never try to be friends with them or anything, but I would allow them to be around me, to hang around me, to sit around me, whatever they wanted to do. And yeah, if I would have known just how pretty I was, I just wouldn't have allowed that. I want to tell a story about this one friend that I had. She was actually this unambiguous black girl in college. Let me just explain this girl to you, and we're gonna give her a name. We're gonna call her Jessie. I'm gonna call her Jessie. So Jessie, well, I guess Jessie's kind of like a boy name. Okay, let me think of a different name. I'm gonna call her Brianna. Okay, so Brianna is this unambiguous black girl. She was like just a couple years older than me. We weren't even barely friends. She was in one of the classes that I was in, and her and another unambiguous girl in that class, they would both obsess over my hair a lot. So, but we ran in the same circle, so then we just kind of become friends just because she liked being around me, okay? That's really what it was. We weren't even like really friends like that. Like, we didn't really have anything in common. Her personality was, she wasn't ghetto, but she was so loud and just like, she was very friendly, but she was just kind of loud and overbearing, to be absolutely honest. It's funny because like one person that did not know her, there was someone like me and another friend were talking to this person that did not know her, and this person was like, oh yeah, you know, that angry woman. And we were like, what angry woman? He was like, yeah, you know, the one, she's always loud. And we're just like, Brianna? Oh, she's not angry, she's just loud. But yeah, it would be like that. Like, she had like this overbearing kind of energy. She wasn't mean or anything, but she was just overbearing and loud. But she was an example of someone I just kind of let be around me just because. She actually, like, this is crazy, but one semester there was this guy that came, like, he was this Exotical guy, right? Me and him got along like really, really well. It wasn't like anything, like we didn't go out or anything. We just, when we met, we got along really well. And I remember like her coming to me one day. She was like obsessed with this guy, by the way. I don't really know why, but she kind of, the way that she made herself be around me a lot, she started being around him that way. And all of us, we kind of ran in the same circles. So one time she comes to me at school telling me that she kissed this guy at a party. He got like super drunk, and she told me that because he was super drunk, she just decided to go for it. And she you guys, when I tell you, I was standing there listening to her tell me this. She was so excited and happy, and in my mind, I was just thinking like, oh, poor guy. Like, and I was just feeling like that's so wrong. Like, that's no different than the way that men try to use alcohol to take advantage of women. Like, it's literally, she literally like admitted that that she literally just did it because he was like super drunk. And it was just wild. I was like, oh my goodness. But I have to add like a little bit more context. This woman, like, she was big as well. Like, I kind of feel weird talking about, you know, people being fat or whatever, but I just need to, you know, add to the context. That was also true. And it was so weird because it almost seemed like she wanted to impress me in a weird way by telling me that she kissed this guy. And we were literally standing like in the hallway. It was the morning time. There weren't many people there. It was just like me and her. People like walking through, and she told me this. And then the guy that she's talking about, again, we all ran in the same circle. So he comes like usual in the morning, in the hallway, and like he's saying good morning, like just a few minutes after she tells me this, right? And then she asks him like in front of me. I guess it just seemed like she really wanted to prove it to me, but she asked him like, oh, so do you remember anything about last night, like a kiss? And this guy looks like kind of uncomfortable, and then he just kind of, I don't know, he just like kind of makes like a weird face, and then he just says to her, yeah, that's not happening again. It was just so awkward for everyone, and it was even more uncomfortable the fact that she was just so happy about it, and it was so cringe. I still feel so bad for that guy, like, ugh. Yeah, and then there was this time when like one of my other friends was like talking about me, and she was like, Exotical princess, you're so cute. I feel like when you were younger you were just like super pretty, just all smiley with like these pretty long ponytails, and all the little boys just liked you. And then Brianna's standing right there, and she says very loud, oh my god, the way you just described Exotical princess, that was literally me. Like, it was just some weird energy. But I would just let her be around because it was like, why not? But that's the kind of thing that I mean. Like, I would not have let those kind of women like be around me. Um, yeah, no. Cuz just no. For what? Had I known how pretty I was in my early 20s, I would have gone for better jobs. I always had like a really easy time getting jobs. I still do, but I didn't realize just how much my beauty impacted that until maybe more like my mid 20s. And don't get me wrong, like I did use my beauty in like my first job was as a Disney princess. So, and then the first time I ever got a substantial amount of money was when I was a pageant girl, you know, when I was a teenager. So it's not like I didn't use my beauty to get opportunities. I did. I just didn't know how much I could have used it or could use it. So yeah, back then I worked with kids a lot. Like after Disney, I worked with kids a lot, and it's like, girl, you could have been doing so much other than running after some bebés and getting so much money, and I didn't realize that. So so yeah. But yeah, this is just a short little video about some random pretty girl thoughts. Tell me what you guys think. Do you have any things that you would not have allowed or you would have not done had you known how like the full extent of your beauty when you were younger? Thanks so much for coming and speaking with me all about the good, the bad, and the pretty.